Hi guys, how y'all doing out there today? Happy holidays. Yes, it is Thanksgiving time and I am so excited to put something on the channel for you guys. Hopefully you will get it in time, and if not, try baking these things throughout the end of the year, guys. This is an exciting time for everyone, hopefully, and I pray that everyone is well. Okay? All right. Thank you once again for stopping by the channel today. And today I'm going to be sharing with you how I put together two cakes. Yes, two cakes. First up, we're going to go ahead and make our Peach Cobbler Pound Cake. Yes, one of the most tastiest and desired pound cakes for this time of the year. All right, so okay guys, all of the ingredients are at room temperature as always. So I will make sure that I put everything into the ingredients in terms of the video. I will make sure I put everything in there for you guys, measured out exactly, as you follow along with me here on the video as well. Okay, so let's get started on this delicious pound cake. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and get started, guys, with putting everything into our mixer here. First, as usual, we always start off, we're gonna whip our butter. Okay, and we have 3 sticks of butter. Okay, all right, so now if you're going to use butter, make sure it is the real butter, okay, when you're making your pound cake, because I find that it makes a big difference, okay, in terms of the taste and flavor of the cake. Do not use margarine, okay. I find that it just doesn't give it that taste that you're really looking for in a pound cake, okay. So just be a little, careful along those lines when you're selecting your butter, and try to use that pure butter if you can. I find that that works the best in what it provides in terms of the taste of the cakes. And if you do muffins or anything like that, any type of baked good, just try to use, the real butter, okay? Real butter. All right. So now we're gonna go ahead and let this whip for about 7 minutes until it gives me that fluffy stage that I'm looking for. Okay, and I'll come back and show that to you, so stay tuned. Almost like a Cool Whip, and so that's what you're really looking for. All right, okay, so now that we have that part done, now we can add in our sugar. So I like to whip mine separate. Some people put sugar and butter together and whip it, and that's fine if that's what you want to do. But I want to see my butter form into what I'm looking for. And then once it does, then I feel comfortable with, adding my sugar in and allowing it to mix for, maybe another 7 minutes or so with that. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and add in our 3 cups of sugar as well. Okay. All right. So we're going to let that mix. Perfect. And then we'll be right back, so stay tuned. All right, so now that's finished, all right? So now next up, we're gonna go ahead and scrape this off of our beater. Yes, I remember this time what it was. What it was. Okay, so now we're getting that scraped off of there, guys. All right, so now that we have our butter and our sugar combined exactly as we want it, we're gonna go ahead now and add in our eggs one at a time. Okay, and this recipe has 5 large eggs. Okay, and it doesn't matter if you use brown or white. You can use whatever you have, you know, in your kitchen. Okay, just make sure it's at room temperature when you do. All right, and that's what I have in here, my 5 large eggs. Just gonna add them in real quickly, and it's just until it's combined. Okay, you get all of the eggs combined in there, and you don't see any lumps of the yellow, you know. So you just want to make sure you do that. All right. This is a very tasty cake, so you will enjoy. If you like peach cobbler, or what they call peach cobbler casseroles, I've even heard of that. And okay, that's all of that. Okay, you know, things like that. So if you like anything along that line of peach cobbler, then you will definitely love this peach cobbler pound cake. It is absolutely delicious, moist, melt in your mouth kind of cake, guys. All right, I think I made this maybe a year before last. I try to change up throughout the time when I am baking different goods at different times of the year. I like to change up. I don't like doing the same thing over and over again. I do have a few traditional things that I do for Thanksgiving and for Christmas, but usually I change my side dishes and things like that up, you know, so you don't get, you know, bored with the same thing all the time. All right, so that looks good. All right, so I'm gonna scrape that down too. All right, get all of that off there. All right, scrape down our sides as well. Okay. Okay. All right, so now that we have our butter, our sugar, and our eggs in there, now we're ready to go and start mixing our milk. Okay. And in here, I have the flavorings or extracts that people call essences. You know, sometimes it has 2 and 3 different names, whatever you prefer to call it. I just say extracts, okay? And in here I have 3 different kinds. I have the vanilla, of course, and then I have my superior, which is my favorite, and also I put in a 1/2 teaspoon of lemon. Yes, lemon. Okay, and so that's what's in here, and along with my 1 cup of milk at room temperature. All right. We also have our flour, and in here I have the 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon, okay, of baking powder. 1 teaspoon. All right, and I did sift that, even though the swan flour comes sifted. I prefer to sift it again once I add those other ingredients in there, because you want it to make sure it's mixed really well. Okay. All right, guys. So now I'm gonna go ahead and mix these ingredients. Okay, alternating between your dry and your liquids. Okay, starting with your dry, ending with your dry. Okay. All right. Let's see here. All right, I'm gonna use a little cup to dip this out. Okay, can you? Yeah, you can see that. Okay, great. All right. Okay. I guess basically what you're doing is just alternating back and forth. Okay, starting with your dry and adding your liquid in there. And you do that until it is completed. All right, and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Alright, that's the end of the flour there. stop it straight down the sides. Alright. Smells really good too. Alright. Okay. Alright. That looks good to me. Okay guys, what I have done is shifted the camera over here because I wanted you to be able to see exactly how I'm going to lay this out in our prepared cake pan. Okay, I have sprayed it. Okay, so it's ready to go. I tend to use Baker's Joy, but if that's not what you have, you can also use a quick release method where you mix a combination of 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, and you can rub that around. You can pour that on top of your Crisco or oil if you have it, and just roll it around inside of there, and that gives you your quick release if you don't have any Baker's Joy. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and add our peaches first of all to the bottom of our pan. Okay, and there's no special way you can do this unless you're one of those type of people that like to just layer things around, and I am one of those people. I don't just pour it in there. I like to see like a pattern form when I'm putting my peaches in there. So that's what I do. Okay, and if you want to, you can just pour them in there. Just make sure you don't use the juice. Okay, do not use the juice. Separate the juice from the peaches. Okay, and put them in there. Make sure they're as dry as possible. I find that when you do that, it tends to not make the top, which is going to be the top when you flip the cake, be soggy. It fits perfectly, and it causes it to cook evenly along with the cake, guys. So that way you don't have like a mushy type of deal going on with your cake. Okay, so just want to make sure I let you know that you do drain off the juice, and if you can, even try to pat the top or compress the peaches, okay, and get all of the extra juices away from that, because you want it as dry as possible. Okay, all right, so I'm just going to make sure I share that with you, because some people, when they're baking things, they don't tell you these little details so that your cake can come out as it should. All righty, okay, try to get that last little one there. Don't want to lay down right. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that looks like that's enough peaches on the top of that for me. I'll save these maybe for later. And put just a little bit close to the neck of the cake as well. There we go. Pan as well. All right, exactly. So that way it looks like it's hugging there. All righty. Okay, so I'm gonna add extra one right there. Got a little gap there. Okay, great. That looks good to me. All right, so you can see that. See how I have them laying around there like that? That's what you're looking for, okay? All right. Now, we're gonna go ahead and pour in our first set of batter on top here. All right. Now this is a very, how should I say? heavy cake. Okay, I'll use the word heavy. It's simply because of the way it is, it has so much, different spices and sugary contents in there. So just to let you know, it's very, very heavy in terms of that. So you know, just know what you're getting into. Okay. All right. So here, okay, we have our, I'm going to put in just a little sprinkle here of this cinnamon. Okay. Making sure I do just a little bit. Okay. Just a little. All right. Cinnamon is not as potent as nutmeg. Okay. And this recipe does call for nutmeg too. Okay. So just remember that as you're putting it in, just remember the nutmeg is very, very potent, very strong. So kind of go a little light. Looks like I'm putting a lot, but I'm not. It's just these little tiny holes here. Okay. All right. So now we got that in there. All right. And what else? I think I just wanted to add that in there. Just make sure. Okay. And on top of that, we're going to go ahead and put in the filling. Okay. Our cake batter, I should say, not filling. Anyway. Okay. So maybe a little too close up on it so you can get a chance to see. But I want you to see every little detail. So that's why I'm doing it like this, guys. Okay. Just let it fold in there. All the way around. Okay, all the way around. Okay. That looks good enough because we're gonna divide this out. This is just the bottom layer here that's going in. Okay? Alright. So then we're gonna go ahead and spread that around in there. Okay. Just let it do its thing. Okay. No fuss, no foul. Just let it do its thing. Okay? Alright. Alright, so now, second thing up, we're going to go ahead and put in the pie filling. Now, this is homemade pie filling. If you don't have it, you can buy it in the store. Just use your regular pie filling. Whatever you feel like comfortable that you can use that you like, okay? And then what you're going to do is just scoop it around the edges just like that. You don't have to do much fuss with it. Just scoop it in there. And this is homemade, guys. I made this myself. And it's ground peaches, nutmeg, cinnamon, and sugar. And the sugar I use is brown sugar. Okay? So you can make your own. You don't have to go and use the ones in the stores. And these are fresh peaches, by the way, that I picked. Okay? This summer. And that's what I'm using in here. Just a touch. Just a touch. I'm going to swirl that around. This is the part that's going to bake to the top of the cake. Okay? And I'm praying that the Lord will bless this to come out as it should. All right, guys. So now we're going to go ahead and add back in the remaining part of the cake. All righty. Just going to pour that right on top of there. Just like that. All right. Got a little bit in there. Something I'm not sure why that came out like that. But anyway, we're going to get it like it should be. Okay. All right. I'm going to put all of this goodness on there. See if I can get my hands around this side so you can see how this is coming out of here. Okay, there are some visuals out there who want to see everything So there we go. Get all of that out of there. All right. See? Okay. Now we're going to smooth this around just like we did before. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to shake the bubbles out of there if there's any in there. Okay? I'm just getting the air bubbles out, okay? Now we're going to go ahead and pop this cake in the oven, guys, for about an hour, 25 minutes, okay? At 325. And I'm going to check it to make sure that it's ready to come out. At that point, it may take an additional 10 minutes because it has fruit in it. But I just want to be sure. But either way, I'm going to let you know. Okay? So, all right. We're going to pop this in the oven and we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Okay, guys. This is the cake straight out of the oven. So it's a little hot right now, so we're going to have to wait until it cools down a little bit. Okay? So we're now back and our cake is out of the oven. It has set for like about 15 minutes or so. So now we're going to flip it out, okay? We're going to see how it turned out. All right. Let's see. Okay, so I'll bring that up close so you can see it. All right, guys. All right, there you go. That's exactly how it come out, straight off, okay? And that is your peach cobbler, okay? Pound cake, all right? All the way around. I noticed that it did stick a little bit around the edges there, but that's cool. I like what I see, and I love how it smells. So, next time, what I'll do is probably leave it in there for maybe 30 minutes rather than 15, and then I won't lose that side. You see how that is around there like that? Well, that's fine. I like it anyway, because when I get through with it, it's going to be gorgeous, I'll tell you that much. So I just wanted to show you that part. We're going to let this cool down. As you can see, it's still steaming hot. A little bit more. I'm going to come back and put our toppings on and close the video off, all right? So stay tuned. Okay, guys, I'm going to try to make this as quick as I can for you. Now, this is where I messed up at. That's why my cake was stuck to the sides, right? In my old recipe, this recipe right here is dated 2020. It's the last time I think I really made this cake, okay? So it's been a minute. All right, I used the quick release method. In this version, I used Baker's Joy. I should have followed my recipe, my old recipe. Yes. So in my next cake, that's what I'm going to do. I want to share that with you. Okay, now, fast forward. All right, so this is some of the topping that I made earlier, okay? And if you remember, let's see right there. That's what I put in the middle of the cake. So all I'm going to do right now is just spread just a little bit, not much, around the top part of the cake. Okay? Alright. Like I said, that's homemade. Okay? Can't beat that. And you can use high filling or whatever you want to put on top of yours. But I like doing old school homemade fresh. Fresh peaches, everything. It's just how I roll. Okay? So now, alright. So we got the glaze, that part on there. That topping part. Now, we're going to top it again. Alright. Now this is your crumble mix. Okay? And it's just flour, brown sugar, some butter, touch of cinnamon, touch of nutmeg in there. And I also put 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, okay? And I just crumble it up and crumble it till I got it to that crumbly consistency, okay? That's all I did. So I just want to make sure I get that all on there real good. And I saw my sister make this cake a long time ago, and hers came out excellent. And so that's what prompted me to want to redo this cake again, you know, for this holiday. Okay, so that's what I'm doing, guys. Just creating that little crust on top of there, because that crumble is going to really set it off. That's going to really set it off. Okay? Alright. Alright. So now, I'm going to clean that off a little bit. Everything that fell off, I'll put foil. Alright. So now, we're going to come back, and we got our melted butter, okay? We're just going to drizzle that on top there, all the way around. You can use a spoon, you know, to spoon it on there, but I pretty much know exactly how much I want to put on here anyway. So, alright. Okay, that's good. And that's just half a stick of butter. Okay, melt it down. Alright, I'm going to bring it in close to you so you can see what it looked like right there. That's what it looked like before it go in the oven, guys. So we're going to pop this in the oven on broil. And I got it at the highest setting of 500 on broil. That means you don't walk away. You stand there and you watch. Because my oven will burn it up. Yes, it will. So we're going to pop this in the oven. And I'll be right back to show you what it looks like when it's finished. Stay tuned. Okay, this is what it looks like close up, guys. Fresh out of the broiler part of the oven. I had it on the second rack from the bottom. I didn't have it on the middle because no, not my stove. So that's what it looks like right now. Fresh out of there. Okay. Okay, guys, we're back. Our cake is cooled and it is ready to be topped with our icing. Now my icing just basically consists of powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and a little milk. Okay, and that is just to make sure I don't put too much in there, because once you put it in, you can't take it out. Alright, so now we're ready to top off this cake, as you can see right there, right? Now, I made it thick. Did you see how thick that is? Look at that. Okay, so now we're going to just let it drizzle on the cake, back and forth. Now see, this reminds me, guys, of my Granny Smith apple pound cake. I don't know if you remember that one, but go back through my channel and just type in Granny Smith apple pound cake. I guarantee you guys, it's similar to this. Okay? Very similar. I tell you, this is absolutely delicious. Yes, it's gonna be absolutely delicious. All right. Fill it in just a little bit more. All right. Okay, guys, here we go. All right. How you like that? Look at that top. Isn't she gorgeous? Yes, yes, yes. That is your Peach Cobbler Pound Cake, guys. And I tell you, it smells absolutely heavenly. Yes, it does. I'm not going to cut it. This going to someone else, okay? So I'm not going to cut it. I want to deliver it to them whole. So that's it, guys. Thank you for joining me here on the channel. Bless you, bless you, bless you. Stay tuned. Pineapple upside down pound cake is up next. All right, so y'all go out and have a blessed one and a happy Thanksgiving to you all here. All righty, we'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care.